I'll sham you right in your fucking sham,
Yeah,
bruh.
we took a few hits there, but did it slow us down?
We never can't keep a good dog down.
Can't stop us now.
Yeah, 2 different songs.
Yeah, same.
I'm Burt Reynolds.
I'm Freddie Mercury.
Yeah. Have we talked about how irritating it is that the movie is called Bohemian Rhapsody?
I don't know if we've talked about it on mic, but I'm with you.
It's so
It's the
stupid.
weakest. It's the weakest title they could possibly use for what looks to be, it might be a great movie.
Yeah,
the
it
trailer
looks
looks
fine.
rad.
Nothing about it is like, I don't want to see that movie except the stupid ass title. It's just
I know.
lazy. Welcome once again to Noah's Snark, where 2 former religious types and current snarks take a look at religious media on its own terms.
I'm Hillary.
And I am Josh, aka the Angel of Depth.
You're so proud of that.
I am.
I know your stupid face. He's so proud. I actually like that. It's fine. It's fine.
I'm just not allowed to be proud of it.
You're so allowed to be proud of it. You're not allowed to not be called out for it.
Fair. So, Hillary, tell me what we are doing today.
Today, Josh, we are doing what I'm going to call a classic, which is we are touching on Touched by an Angel, an old TV show for all you young people out there.
That's right. And by old, she means
1994.
the mid-90s, where CBS decided they needed to cater to a very specific crowd, and they created a grand concept.
Yeah.
It's Touched by an Angel.
Mm-hmm.
It is the story of 2 angels who travel through the heart of America and assist people with their troubles.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty basic.
And it is 90s-tastic.
It is so 90s.
I love it. It gives me a warm, fuzzy feeling seeing this much 90s.
Roma Downey stars as Monica, a recently promoted angel who works underneath her supervisor and surrogate mother figure, Tess,
Della Reese.
played by Della Reese.
R.I.P.
Yeah. We'll be starting just as the series did at the very beginning. The Southbound Bus is the very first episode, followed by Show Me the Way to Go Home.
Yep, this first episode came out as I was entering 4th grade. I had never watched the show.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
I don't think... If I've ever seen an episode, it was like at someone's house by accident. I never sought it out.
I never liked the name, even as a child. I was like, touched by it. Ugh.
No, I remember the inappropriate jokes based around the title of that show, yeah. If an angel touches you, you need to find your father.
Right.
Get an adult.
So before we begin the proper breakdown of these 2 episodes, first impressions. Going in, what you got? Broad overview.
I get a lot of joy in my heart when the opening songs for shows in the 90s all sound the same, just like with little slight differences, and it just like sends me right back to what I consider the best decade of all time.
Okay.
4th grade was a good year for me.
I honestly did not know what to expect going in. I expected mediocre 90s drama.
Yeah.
Delivered.
Yeah.
Got what I wanted.
Yeah.
I did not know Roma Downey was a foreigner.
Is she Irish?
Yeah, she's Irish.
I didn't-
So her accent was just, for the first couple of scenes, I was like, what the hell is happening? Is she doing a bit? What's happening?
Yeah.
Then I just looked it up and it's like, oh, she's Northern Irish.
I think I knew that, but I had forgotten it. I completely forgot her name because I used to get it. Roma Downey Jr. is what I always want to say.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's too close.
It's way too close.
Yeah.
It's not her fault, but also she needs to change it.
True. Yeah. The SAG people should have stepped in on that and said, no, we have to go with your middle name or something.
Right. But yeah, it's just, her accent threw me off so much, but that was it, really. Like you said, the theme song stood out. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Why? What?
It's just so 90s.
But then I have to admit, by the second episode, I found myself being like, walk with you.
Yeah, I know. I
still didn't like it, but I was like...
Which, is it Della Reese singing? It sounds like Della Reese singing.
It sounds exactly like Della Reese.
Yeah.
If it's not Della Reese,
then, yeah,
they missed an opportunity.
Right. Or, yeah, I'm like, they paid one too many people.
Right. Alright, so our very first episode, The Southbound Bus. opens with the image of a rattlesnake, while a little woman in a dress walks through the desert.
The little woman, meaning Roma.
The little Roma woman
Like you say little woman.
She's little.
She's definitely taller than me.
Well, you think I wouldn't call you little too?
I don't like it. I am normal. God damn it.
But Monica, this angel, this woman, removes a piece of her clothing and it turns into a dove. Which, I would just like to say, for the record, is a fucking pigeon. When I found out that doves were just fucking white pigeons, I was so mad this whole time.
Are they just white pigeons, or are they just in the same family? I thought they were in the same family, but not
pigeons and doves are the same bird.
Have you ever talked about how much I love pigeons?
No.
People's hatred for pigeons is completely unfounded.
Yeah, I don't know anything about pigeons.
I know so much about pigeons, Josh. I'm not going to get into it, but everybody out there, look into it. Pigeons saved our asses in World War I and II.
I've never seen a pigeon in person.
What? We're in Atlanta.
I've never seen a pigeon. Like, near me, at least. I'm sure I've seen a pigeon.
What?
I don't know.
What? Have you ever been in any other cities?
I went to Baltimore. Washington, D.C.
I've never been anywhere where I wasn't completely surrounded by pigeons, especially downtown Atlanta.
I guess I'm just
They're
not
fucking everywhere. I love
them. To be
them.
in industrial areas? Not industrial.
Like more, less urban areas. Like
more
Midtown.
urban areas.
The more urban the area, the more pigeons there are going to
you're
be.
right.
Midtown, where we are, has more trees, less pigeons.
Yeah, I'm not certain I've seen a pigeon.
Yeah, I guess when I went to Georgia State, they were everywhere because of all the scraps of foods.
But my point is, I don't have a strong opinion about pigeons one way or the other. I don't care.
Yeah.
Except when I found out that pigeons and doves are just the same fucking animal. One's just got, like, a more solid color scheme.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, we need doves. I'm just going to give some people some fucking pigeons. Like, these are doves.
Same thing.
You're just being an asshole.
But these have shiny necks, and I think they're prettier.
Right. So, I was like, what? This whole time people use doves as, like...
Symbols of peace and symbols of,
And, like, nobility and fancy shit. And
Yeah.
pigeons are, like, dirty street birds.
Are they like...
It's like they're the same bird.
I get so angry when people are mean about pigeons. They're so wrong. It's not their fault they're in our cities. We brought them here.
Yeah, it's just so frustrating. It's like, they're the same bird. Why are they dirty street birds? Just clean them up. I bet they're white, too.
That's not how that works.
I know.
Are they albino, though? Are they albino, or are they
Maybe.
just a certain...
I'm pretty sure it's just a color scheme.
Yeah.
Like, just your feather pattern. Like, white and gray cat versus all white versus gray, you know?
Right.
Like,
I'm gonna have to do
birds
more
work.
research about this. It's just the way birds work.
All right,
And
so...
we're the experts.
But Monica removes a piece of her clothing and it turns into that dove, which flies away. She goes across the desert to a random desert bench to meet her supervisor, Tess, as we said, Della Reese,
With a cool-ass parasol. More people need to use parasols.
who tells Monica that she has been moved from search and rescue onto casework.
Yes.
Monica's very excited because she's gotten this promotion.
Right.
They
So I guess angels are, it's a lot like a police office. Detective's office.
Yeah.
The stations you get to be put in.
Yeah, apparently, I looked this up a little bit, she worked her way up from choir
Yeah.
to search and rescue to casework. So
Damn, Roma.
now she's on cases. That's
She's
right.
basically the captain. Next up, Captain Angel.
She's going to whisper in Tess's ear, I'm coming for your job. Ask my old supervisors. Oh, right, you can't. None of them live.
I'm a rogue. I'm a hothead.
Work my way up this ladder.
I don't sleep, I work.
But they're apparently waiting for a bus here in the middle of nowhere, and Monica is told to look for a boy named David and stay close to him, but she's not given any further details. The angels do have a brief moment here to have an existential moment about what a hassle living is, because Monica has a real human body for the first time, and she can eat and everything.
Yeah. Della Reese warns her against eating everything in sight because she says it takes a century to work it off.
Mm-hmm. She was like, I did it when I first started out, and I still haven't
She's
worked
like, look at me. Which they wrote that in. I think it was rude to Della Reese.
Right. I mean, Della Reese knows what she looked like.
I know.
She was familiar.
I know, but still.
Yeah.
I always wonder about that, how you would feel as a writer, putting somebody's actual physicality into the character in a kind of, not super degrading way, but in a way I'm like, that's not something you want to hear about yourself.
Yeah, it's gotta be awkward. You should probably ask before you just write it in there.
Right. I hope it was her suggestion because she's awesome.
Right. And my immediate question was like, we know these angels are gonna try fucking, right? Like, not with each other, just in general.
That didn't even occur to me.
Absolutely. You have a human body for the first time.
I was thinking about cake.
Cake? Obviously, like food and stuff.
Right.
But apparently she has to do that stuff. You don't have to fuck anything.
That's true.
And you're gonna. Because you've just got a human body for the first time. You have genitals for the first time in your life. You're not gonna try them out.
I don't know, man. I don't know how, like, these aren't like the angels in Dogma. They don't seem as, I don't know, bent on sinning.
Yeah, but, I mean,
they're not going to get married, so they're not going to fuck.
This is her first case. This is the first time she's had a human body. There should at least be an easing in period. What's she going to do when she poops for the first time?
Oh, God. I love where your head's going now. This is fun.
Like, it's not just the sex thing.
What if she finds out she has a food allergy?
Yeah. Pooping can be a thing.
Yeah.
What else do humans do that's weird? Sneezing?
All the stuff that is really fun to watch babies do for the first time.
Right.
You're seeing a grown adult, like, not know what is happening when they fart.
Right.
The hell was that?
Right. Like when a baby sneezes and it's like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, exactly. Have you seen their eyes get all big when they fart? They're like, what the hell?
So that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like, but she's just like, hey, guess what? You're promoted. Here's your new body. Bye.
Right. I mean, they've been watching humans forever, so they've probably seen shit go down, so to speak.
They're going to experience
But
it,
yeah, they're
though.
going to feel it for the first time. That's going to be super weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even if she's not going to try the fucking because they're angels and they don't want to do that, I guess.
Right, maybe.
So there's going to be moments probably where there's like, what is this odd sensation?
I was gonna say, well, I mean, yeah, spoiler alert, she's flirty as hell.
Right.
Yeah, we see that immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean.
She does the fuck me eyes throughout this whole thing, and I was a little upset by it.
Yeah. But when she gets some little red zones going on, she's just going to be like, guess that's how humans feel. Like, it's going to be weird. You have to give her at least like an hour to figure out what it's like being human.
Yeah.
Run her through a bunch of like trials. This is what cold feels like. This is what heat feels like. This is hunger.
Yeah.
That feeling? Hungry.
Yes.
You've never experienced it before. That feeling? Horny.
Yes.
That feeling? You know what I mean?
We push that way down.
Mm-hmm. When your face turns all red, you're embarrassed. But it's like, bye.
It happens every time you fart.
So I was immediately thrown off by the fact that she's never been human.
Welcome to a human body. Get on that bus.
Right. Monica does board the bus, and then we cut to the gospel-style opening theme song we were talking about.
Right.
I just called it I'll Walk With You. I assume that is the actual title.
I'll go with it. No need to look it up.
Yeah. But back to the episode proper. The bus stops at a diner, and Monica catches the attention of a very important businessman, because he likes the cut of her jib. And he basically gives her the flirt that he can.
I guess.
But it's weird because he's like a middle-aged, somewhat balding man.
Yeah, and it almost doesn't even seem like he's. I feel like maybe he's supposed to be flirting, but he just goes out and is like, "Hi, I do this for business. What do you do?"
That's his version, I think.
Yeah, but it wasn't like a hey.
Yeah, he wasn't being weird about it.
No.
But I noticed that he was doing his thing. He turned around, he saw her. He did his thing. He turned back around.
Yeah,
and he was like, "Oh, I have to talk to this woman."
True.
Which, to be fair, she's attractive.
She's gorgeous.
Yeah. So obviously.
And Irish.
And Irish, and he didn't even know that yet. And then she started talking,
true.
and he's like, "Oh."
She's got that fun, full, curly 90s hair.
But while he's distracted by Monica, she notices a little kid stealing money from the businessman on the other side of him. So she excuses herself and confronts the small child, who eventually returns the money and even tips the waitress while Monica watches over him.
Yeah, because he stole money from other people, too. He stole the tip that had been left for her, too.
There you go. I didn't notice that part, so that's good.
Yeah.
But she returns to the bus with him and sits beside him. And he's immediately suspicious, as he should be, because random adults following and beginning conversations with children is always extremely suspicious.
It is, yeah. I don't care how pretty you are.
Right. And, typically it's not an issue that you have to worry about with women, but you do still.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just follow small children around on buses.
Nope.
But eventually, they build a rapport. He appears to be alone, and he tells Monica about how his mom and sister died in a car accident. And we're just supposed to understand that he's a sad boy, okay?
With almost no supervision.
None. He does introduce himself as David, at some point during this conversation, so we know this is David, the little boy. And they reach their destination late at night, where David is immediately mugged by some teenagers coming off the bus.
Yep, or attempted mugging.
Because, upon trying to lift his backpack, they find that it is simply too heavy for their spindly little teenage arms.
Because they're not Thor, he is.
They then try cutting through it with their knife, and Monica appears in a flash of light and scares them by appearing as menacing as a 100-pound woman can.
Yeah.
And taking their knife from them as well.
I think that being backlit by nothing really helped her.
Yeah.
Be threatening.
She's got to be, 5'6" at best?
At best, yeah, like 100 pounds.
Maybe 107.
Right.
And she's just like, I'm scary. And it's like, no.
Yeah.
Any one of those kids could beat you up. But all of them? There's like 6.
She does disarm the kid with the knife and make the knife disappear. So there's some...
That part was at least, doing something.
Right.
The first part where they backed up after nothing.
Well, she's bright. Why?
No, she's real bright.
It's dark. And she herself only is bright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Monica takes this opportunity to follow David home. And while he desperately needs to leave this situation, he brings her inside his house.
Yeah. Well, at this point, she's saved his life.
Yeah. Saved his bag, to be fair.
Oh, and they had knives.
Yeah, but they didn't brandish it on him.
I thought they did after.
They pulled it out to get the bag open because they couldn't lift it.
Still.
But I don't think they ever really, threatened him with it.
Well, she saved his bag, and that's enough for me.
I'm saying no child should let any stranger, no matter how much they've helped you, into your house without asking your parents first.
I say when they scare bullies off, they're your best friend now.
Don't listen to Hillary, kids. Yeah, and that's what I wrote. This is deeply problematic, both for fictional character David and for real-life children potentially watching the show.
See, you would be a good dad.
But David shows Monica around his house, and I'm just waiting for the moment at this point where she asks to see his room. Because that's exactly the amount of creepy that this situation is.
It is a little bit weird.
Before this can happen, Dad comes home and isn't really concerned about Monica being in his house with his son by themselves.
He has a moment where he's like, what the... And then she's... What is his son's explanation? He says... I can't remember.
I don't remember either.
I know she eventually comes out. She's like, I saw your ad for a nanny.
That's the one.
Yeah. Okay, but why are you in my house alone with my son?
Right.
Right. We got a phone.
He is told that she is here to interview for the nanny position.
Right.
That they did have open already.
At night.
Late at night, by herself, in the kid's house.
No phone call ahead of time. Woman doesn't even have a bag.
She does point out that her only real vice is not liking to wear shoes. And she also very creepily insists that she loves children, especially David, because she's known him about 2 hours.
Yeah, I love David.
Oh, boy.
Yep.
But she gets the job.
It was the 90s.
She gets the job as the live-in nanny because Dad has a good feeling about this.
He has a detective instinct.
That's right. That's what he chalks it up to. I think he's just must be a bad dad.
I think he just is desperate.
Yeah, it can be both. Bad dad, desperate dad.
Desperate dad.
The next day, Monica goes about her nanny duties when she chases an ambulance down the street and runs across a fellow angel who's about to help a dead guy get his reward. That's their words, not mine.
Yeah, heaven.
Heaven.
Yeah, she asks about what he knows about the family across the street that she's with.
Right. And he explains that the only death that happened in David's family was the baby that died in the crib. So it turns out that David's mom is alive, somewhere out there. Monica then goes to confront David about his mom, and he confesses to being tired of lying, and that she ran away after the baby died. He rides the bus every day, trying to find his mom because his dad said that she's somewhere in the desert. So he just gets on a bus to a random place.
Is he like an 8-year-old? 9?
Yeah, how does he have money for bus tickets?
He steals it.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we saw him thieving.
Clever.
Yeah, I know.
I hadn't thought of that.
He takes care of himself.
Yeah, that's fucked up. But because bus tickets aren't cheap.
Especially for an 8-year-old. Were probably more so back then.
I know, but it's still not for an 8-year-old.
No, yeah. Also, do they just let 8-year-olds on the trains like that?
But whatever. Like trains, in a city? Like
MARTA and stuff, yeah.
But a bus that goes out of town? Hell no.
No.
You gotta be like, hey, where are your parents?
Where's
literally anybody?
Where's your adult?
Older brother.
Right.
Sister. Anybody who's more than 13.
I flew once by myself as a child, but I think my mom walked me to the gate.
Yeah, that would be the smart thing. She goes to Detective Dad and announces that she needs a few days off, which is a really terrible way to start a new job.
I thought the same thing.
But she does...
I'm just going to bring a stranger into your house real quick, even though I technically am still a stranger.
Right. We've only known each other for 6 hours.
Yes.
But she has Tess come in to fill in for her. At this
And by the way, it's important to point out, it's not just her first day on the job with the kid, it's also her first day on the job as this level of angel.
Right.
So it's like she just started with this, what is it, casework? Is that what?
Casework.
Yeah, casework. And she's already passing off her job to another angel who has her own job to do, while also abandoning the child on her first day.
It's a whole
she's
thing.
Not starting strong.
Yeah.
It's a good thing she's pretty.
Still here she got promoted. God was like,
damn.
And the accent. At this point, Dad also reveals that he has tracked down David's mom, and that she's changed her name and her hair, and she won't come home because she just can't deal with the guilt of the dead baby. So Monica heads to where he said, although he doesn't know this at the time. She just says that she needed time off for family stuff.
Right.
It's his family, but he doesn't know that.
Not lying.
So Monica heads to where Dad said the mom was, and she's stopped by Tess, who tells her to go back and do her damn job.
Yeah.
But Monica's insisting that her instincts are telling her to do this. Tess relents, goes to serve as the nanny, and Monica heads inside the diner where she was headed. From the outside, while she was talking to Tess, the waitresses could see her, and they could see her talking to nobody.
Yeah.
Tess is an angel, I guess, and was invisible.
Yeah, so I guess different levels of angel can be... I don't know if she can control it or what.
I think they can control it.
Okay, so she's choosing to make Roma Downey look like an insane person.
Yeah, she's
That's
outside,
what I was hoping was the case.
right by the bus stop, and she's talking...
Having a full conversation.
Having an animated conversation.
Right, to nothing.
And these waitresses are like, what in the hell? But they never talk about it again.
No, they don't bring it up.
They don't ever
They're not
mention
even
it.
really that worried. I'd be worried about this woman.
Yeah. So Monica heads inside, and she meets the two very friendly waitresses, Ruth Ann and Christine. And they give her coffee, but she doesn't drink it, but she enthusiastically smells it, which makes them further think that she's a real weirdo.
Insanity, yeah.
Insane.
She's like, what did she say? She's like, it's been so long. I forgot what it was like to smell coffee.
I think she said she was not able to drink it before.
Something like that. Which could just, I think they've decided at this point that she was definitely in an abusive relationship. Right. Which I guess her relationship with God can be construed that way.
Yeah. But yeah, so she makes them think, not intentionally, but makes them think that she's been in a very abusive situation because she's just happy to smell coffee instead of just drink it.
Right.
But that's okay. She asks for a room in what appears to be this truck stop / gas station / motel combo, which I'm very confused.
/ pool hall.
Yeah.
They have a pool table too.
Yeah. So
why would you ever leave? You have everything you need right there.
Yeah, it's a strange place in the middle of nowhere, but cool, I guess.
Yeah, I'd hang out. Did we already note the necklace?
We're just about to.
Okay, because we didn't mention the picture before, but I guess I can bring it up after I bring up the necklace.
Right.
Okay, go on.
So Monica notices the necklace on Ruth Ann's neck.
Yeah.
Where you wear a
Best
necklace.
place for a necklace, I'd say.
And it is a, star pendant?
It's a star, yeah.
That
it's a really ugly necklace.
David had drawn in the picture that Monica has taken from his fridge about his mom.
Well, she didn't take the picture.
Did she not?
She saw the picture on the fridge, and David pointed out that that's the only picture of his mom in the house, and it's a hand-drawn one that he did because his dad removed all the real pictures.
Right. I remember that part.
And she has that a very visible star necklace in the picture, and he says it's because his mom used to say that whenever you're sad, look at the stars, which doesn't sound like a whole... Feels like there should be a second half to that statement. Because...
I assume it's that's somewhere out there beneath the pale moonlight.
Yeah.
They see the stars. You see the stars.
Right.
It's a star thing.
Right, I guess. Yeah.
In the mid-90s, it may have been a more obvious connection.
I don't think it was actually connecting to An American Tale.
100% it was.
No, definitely
Guaranteed.
not. We should probably look up what year An American Tale came out.
Oh, it was in the early 90s. Because I saw it when I was real young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
I'm not saying it's necessarily on purpose.
I mean, there was a big, celestial thing. Celestial things in, decor and... Yeah. So maybe it's just the 90s being the 90s.
The 90s. But anyway, so Ruth Ann has this necklace on, so we know now that Ruth Ann is David's mom. So Monica's set up for success, and she's ready to go forward. Back at home, Tess is caught preparing breakfast by a shirtless David and introduces herself to him. Dad leaves them on their own, and Monica grills Christine about Ruth Ann.
I'm very uncomfortable with partially naked children in TV and movies when unnecessary.
Yeah.
He's not at a pool.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no reason for this kid to not have a shirt on.
I mean, it's how he walks around his own house, but
maybe in reality.
It's the same way as like TV where people are just lounging around their house and they have all their clothes on. It's just a thing you do for convenience. It's not a thing that's real.
You could have like an undershirt and your boxers. That's a normal thing for a kid to be wearing in the house. There's no reason to have that kid without a t-shirt.
I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah.
I'm just not making it sound like it because this is how kids run around their house.
Yeah.
But it's a TV show. You don't have to show actual kids running around their house with no clothes on.
Precisely.
Right. Just like...
It gives me the uh-oh feeling.
Yeah, like every time you see a show and someone's just hanging around in their own house and they have all their clothes on.
And shoes.
Like shoes.
Yeah, no.
It's like, why are you wearing shoes? You're in your house. Like, I don't even wear pants most of the time.
Yeah, I don't wear anything more than I need to.
Right. So, it's just one of those things. But for some reason, TV is comfortable with kids being realistic.
Don't
and
like
not
it.
Adults.
Don't like it.
So Monica is grilling Christine about Ruth Ann, who is David's mom, and Christine says that she's just so lonely, and she's obviously trying really hard to hide it. And then over a game of pool, Monica tells Ruth Ann about a concert in the middle of the desert, and she convinces her to take Monica to that concert using this really fancy red car that they have.
Yeah, which we were introduced to the car as like something run down that doesn't work, and it's been out of commission for a really long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it gets continually, like, played up as the best car ever.
Well, no, it's just like, it's a nice car.
It
it's
is
a nice old, I don't know, old sports car, muscle car, something. I don't know much about cars, but it's a good car. It looks like a good car.
Right.
That people would be excited about. Red convertible.
But once we get to the concert, Monica moves off to the side and watches as Ruth Ann attempts to mingle, until eventually Ruth Ann is confronted by David's dad, who tries to arrest her, and then I was just confused for a second.
Yeah,
like, what in the hell is happening?
Yeah, he sees her from across the room, like, oh shit, he saw her, so he's gonna go get his wife. Right. And then his first reaction is,
"You're under arrest. I'm the police.
I'm the police. You're under arrest." And she runs off.
Yeah, she, like, throws something at his face. And
she, like knocks something over or something and bolts.
So Monica catches up with Ruth Ann, and we realize that she is not David's mom at all, but an actual fugitive from the law. It's a different situation going on here.
Yep.
Monica tries to convince her to turn herself in, but she does not. And Monica is then yelled at by Tess for taking on more than she was told to do. And she's threatened with an immediate demotion if she doesn't shape up.
Good.
Right. Back inside the motel / diner / truck stop / pool hall, it is revealed that Christine is David's mom, because the necklace belonged to her and she was letting Ruth Ann borrow it.
Right, which I totally guessed.
What a twist! Yeah, Ruth Ann did seem a little young, but I was like, whatever. Do the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, the one who ends up actually being the mother looks a lot like Valerie Bertinelli, and I had to look it up to see, but she's not. It's not her.
Monica is not being coy this time around, trying to manipulate things, and she confronts Christine immediately about abandoning her family. But Christine drives away before Monica can stop her. Monica does find a way to stop her, though, by using her angel powers to put her body directly in front of the car, causing Christine to run off the road.
Why not be, like, in the car?
Right.
Why not put your body in the car?
Christine gets out of the car and asks her who the hell she is, because she keeps appearing in places that she has no business being.
Yeah.
And this is fair at this point.
No business being because it's not her business, but also no business being because of physics. There's no reason she should be there anymore.
That's more what she meant, I think.
Yeah.
Monica and Christine talk about David and the way that he lies about her death and all this other stuff that he's going through. Christine points out that she's not yet ready to return. She just feels so guilty about the dead baby. And that's when Monica reveals that she is an angel. But obviously she's not believed, because that's ridiculous. Until Monica makes the car completely disappear from right behind Christine.
Yep.
Were you convinced at this point?
That she's an angel?
Yeah.
I believed from the beginning. I also knew the title of the show before this woman did,
yeah.
So...
I mean, we knew, but I mean, like, if you were in this situation, you think you'd be like, oh, she's not just a wizard.
I don't fucking know. There's no, like, it's not a real thing. This would never happen. I can't even imagine what it would be like to have something actually, some actual miracle type thing happen.
Yeah, that's true.
Miracles aren't real.
So Christine now does accept that Monica is an angel, but at this point gets, I think, reasonably pissed off instead of grateful or whatever she was supposed to feel.
Yeah.
Because she asks her what the fuck she was doing instead of helping a baby not die in its crib.
Great question.
It's like, why did nobody tell me it was happening?
Yeah.
Or warn me? Or not have it die in the first place?
Right.
Or told me to go check on it?
This is where I gained a lot of respect for this show, because they actually are bringing up the real questions.
Right, because you would be pissed off.
Right.
And Monica explains, there was an angel there. And it's the same angel that hangs out with her baby in heaven, or whatever.
Right.
And how is this supposed to make anyone feel better?
I guess if you're a believer, then it's like your baby's literally better off than it could ever be here. But
that's also the same argument people make for why you should just murder your children when they're really young.
No, exactly. Yeah.
Don't do that.
No.
Yeah, so it's just so weird because, like, if we're by the argument that Monica's making, we should smother children in their cribs.
Absolutely.
Like, upon birth, just kill them.
Or just have this whole murder pact with your whole church right after everyone gets saved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're going to save everybody
in
the building.
You can't kill yourself.
And then kill everybody.
Most Christians believe that if killing yourself, well, I guess maybe, I know at least Catholics do consider that a sin, a mortal sin.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, one person sacrifices themselves, becomes a murderer, then gets saved, done.
Yeah. Better sacrifice than Jesus ever made.
Yeah, if you actually believe in heaven, why would that not be?
You literally have to kill children.
Right.
That's not the argument I'm making, that's the argument Monica's making.
Yeah.
Like, oh, an angel was there, it's just your kid's dead.
Right.
It's like, that's not better.
Yeah, I know.
That's actually significantly worse, because they were there and didn't help.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine?
Deeply disturbing.
Yeah, can you imagine if, like, I see somebody going through, like, some horrible experience, and later they then confront me about it? Like, why didn't you help me? Be like, oh, but I was there.
Yeah.
I just didn't do anything to help. But I'm here now.
Sounds a lot like an experience we just had with our show, God's Not Dead.
Yeah.
What a blessing for him to stay alive in pain for a few moments longer.
Right, so you have a chance.
Yeah.
I'm not going to call the ambulance, though. You're dead.
No.
You're just going to die here in the street.
Yeah, what a celebration.
What a celebration. Monica returns to the car, which allows Christine to leave, who explains that she stays away from the family because she loves them.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, Monica tells her, love doesn't hide. It stays and fights. It goes the distance.
Oh, is that you trying to do Irish?
It's my best attempt. I'm not good.
Wasn't terrible.
That's why...
It goes the distance.
It goes the distance. That's why God made love so strong, so it can carry you home.
Now you went Southern.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to do what you did.
No, I can't do it either. Don't follow my lead.
But it's a very ironic thing for the show to claim, given that the premise is a fiction about angels helping people on Earth, and we can't even get that far in the real world.
Right.
Where, you know what I mean? Like, love doesn't hide like God, which is unseen and has no evidence for its existence. It stays and fights, never happens, people just suffer and die constantly.
100%. I did not even make that connection, but you're absolutely right.
Like, the show is supposed to be helping, like, this idea of, like, angels and gods who care.
Right.
There's no evidence for any of it.
No evidence of that
for
whatsoever.
me, it's just driving the point that life is just a cluster of horrible things.
Yeah, it's just chaos and...
But that's fine. I guess if you're a believer, you're, like, super inspired right now. I don't get it.
Yeah, I guess.
So Christine drives away, and Monica turns to God herself and asks why she was giving a heart if she wasn't supposed to follow it. She loves David because she's known him for all of 6 seconds, and she wants to be on the right track.
She has a crush on David, and she wants the best for him.
That's right. I guarantee if the show had run longer, they would grow up, and him and Monica would be in a relationship.
Oh, you think so?
What's a human angel relationship?
How much longer could it go than 9 years, which is how long it actually went for?
Well, he would have been 17, which is inappropriate, but 5 more years?
I mean, we don't know how old he really is. He could have been of age. He could have been 18 or 19 by the end of this series. I don't like where this is going. Let's not have this conversation anymore. This is where the drawing of the mom shows up.
Right. That's why I assumed she'd taken it.
No, it showed up in her pocket because you know how God communicates with her by putting stuff in her pockets?
Yeah. Yeah.
We
Good
know
old
that
God.
because money appeared in her pocket when she needed to buy a room.
That's right.
Yeah, she
just has everything.
So she talks to God, and God's like, "Here you go.
Here's some money.
Here's a little something for your troubles."
But just as humans do, she's talking to God about this, and she gets no response, except that she finds a picture in her pocket.
Yeah.
She cries alone in the desert as somber music plays to remind us of the strong emotional stakes we're going through.
Mm-hmm.
She eventually makes it back to David and Dad's home, where David is distraught that she has returned without Mom in tow.
Right.
Monica apologizes, and David gives her a break because she tried, but he does leave to go outside for a while. Dad yells at Monica for not leaving things to hell alone, and Tess follows up further to add salt to the wound, pointing out that Monica was supposed to help David heal, but instead she's just made his pain worse.
Yep. And she's right.
And they're all correct.
They're all correct.
Except,
Yeah.
once outside, Christine turns up, and she gives David a big old hug, and they have such an emotional reunion. Monica's vindicated. Tess gets the fancy red sports car as a gift.
Yeah, which why? I'd be like, the least you could do as a mom who had disappeared on her family is be like, I've got this car.
Yeah, this is a
We
car.
can maybe sell this for food.
She gives it to Tess. Dad gets his wife back.
Yeah.
David gets his mom
Seems
back.
like that should have been a conversation, too.
I was thinking it. They just hold hands. It's like, no, we have to talk.
Right. And she comes back, she's like, I'm back. He's like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
You're sleeping in the guest room for a while. We got some things to hash out.
David has his mom back, and I can stop watching this show.
Yeah.
So it's a happy, soulful ending for all.
And I'm assuming, because again, I have not watched this whole series, but Tess and Monica driving away in that car seems to be like maybe that's their new mode of transportation. I think that car becomes irrelevant for the rest of the series. Like, maybe that was its origin stories as to why they're driving around in a red convertible.
That seems to be the thing, because they are in it in the next episode.
They are, yeah.
So I assume it's just their car.
That's their means of transportation now.
Right. It's
Or
like the Charger
Their mood.
in Supernatural.
Yes! I've been craving that show recently.
You should watch it. I know you only do it in October. You should just do it.
Well, no, I can't. I have seasonal things. So that's why I watched Jaws, Independence Day, and My Girl yesterday. And then I have my summer stories. And then once I start feeling the urge for fall, which comes around mid-August, then I get the inkling to start watching fall movies and Supernatural. So you know how I do.
I know how you do. I'm just saying you don't have to do.
It's not a rule that I give myself. It's like what I feel like.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
So, brief notes on this episode?
I enjoyed it. I really did. But that's, again, anything... I'm a sucker for the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my golden age.
I found it extremely long.
Yeah, it was long.
It wasn't, like, long, but, oh boy, I did not like it. It was really boring.
Right.
It was a long watch for me.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if it felt long because I was trying to multitask and get a lot of other things done today, or if it was just long, but you saying that makes me think it's the latter.
Yeah, because I have to say, before we started, I actually liked the next one a lot better.
I loved the next one.
So it's
comparatively, not like my favorite show now.
So it's not that the show is necessarily bad, but this first episode was a slog.
Well, also, yeah, it is remembering it is a pilot. So for a pilot, it was well put together for a first episode of a new series.
Right. When I say it was really boring and longer than needed, I'm not really saying that as like the super biggest criticism. I would still say overall, not a waste of time. Yeah. But I just didn't care for it.
Right. It made me want to wear like long flowing button up dresses.
Like Monica does only.
Yeah.
But that's just a quick thing on that one.
She also has an issue of camel toe, which will come up in the next episode, too.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
I did.
I guess I'm not enough of a teenage boy anymore.
You're not enough of a perv. We'll work on that.
Yeah, I can rewatch it.
Wait, it's hard to get a camel toe from from a maxi dress, but somehow she manages.
Nice.
Not nice.
We're moving onward to Show Me the Way to Go Home, and we open with Tess and Monica playing baseball. And I immediately noticed that Monica chokes up on the bat pretty hard.
Yes.
She's like in the middle of it.
Yeah, she goes as high up as you possibly can, which is probably the correct thing to do for someone of her stature and strength.
It makes it... I actually read an entire article about why choking up is a thing.
Really?
To learn about whether it's even a good idea.
It is a good idea.
It depends on what you're going for.
Not professionally.
Well,
usually.
So even professionally, it depends on what you're going for.
Yeah.
You get less force, but it's faster. It's basically it.
It should be here that I point out that Josh does not care for baseball at all, and I love baseball, and he just explains the baseball to me.
That's true. Well, you said...
I mean, it's not, it really isn't that common. I mean, it does happen, especially, like, I mean, bunting is a thing. That's the extreme choking up, if you want to call it that. But, yeah, my first thought of this episode was, fucking yeah, baseball!
I'm just saying, you said it doesn't seem like a good idea. I was like, it can be in certain circumstances.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
It's not my fault you didn't know this.
I didn't think we needed to get into it.
I'll probably cut it out.
No, don't. It's fine. And you weren't wrong at all.
Yeah. But yeah, so she's just like holding it right in the middle. But then I looked it up and I was like, okay, it's a viable strategy. Got it. That's the only reason I looked it up anyway. I was like, is this just her being stupid? Or is this how Irish play baseball? What's the deal?
How the Irish play baseball. Like, is it cricket? It's not cricket.
Monica eventually hits the ball, and it turns into a dove and leads us right into the setting of our next story, a baseball field. The coach of this team is deriding one of the players pretty severely, and Monica receives this as her next assignment, because they're now in the parking lot of this baseball field.
Posted up on their fancy car.
And Monica's going to be filling in as the assistant coach alongside this ornery man. Now, she's familiar with Earl, who is the coach in this scenario, and that's why she was chosen for the assignment.
Yeah, they don't explain why, but we find out later.
We will find out. A ball gets knocked over the fence at them, and Monica catches it really easily using her angel powers, I guess. Because the thing was going pretty fast, and she's
good at baseball now.
Bloop, caught that bitch. We then get the theme song, and after the theme song, everyone rushes out of the field to check on the two women on the car. Monica compliments the batter on his swing, and she and the coach argue about whether he should be encouraging or criticizing his players.
Yeah.
It's basically a attitude thing they're arguing about. Now, he says, I'm going to do it my way, you do it your way. And she goes, I will. And so she takes the bat, she heads to the field, and she gives that same player some encouragement. Sort of like, you're going to do really good.
Good cop, bad cop. She's very good cop.
She's going full good cop. And does lead to him actually managing to hit a ball.
Yeah.
The coach follows this up with his more aggressive style on a different player.
Yeah.
Who then knocks the ball out of the park.
Yes.
So this leads Coach Earl to telling Monica that this is a closed practice and she should leave. And then she then reveals her new role as the substitute assistant coach.
Yeah, substitute history teacher / assistant coach, because that's how substitutes work.
It's funny because the coach doesn't like her being the coach, the new one. And he goes to his boss, I guess, and he's like, the boss is just like, I looked for somebody who had experience in history and baseball, and she's the best one they could find.
Yeah, she was top of the list. We're like, that's not how substitute. My mom was a substitute for a long time.
Like, who cares if you're good at history?
You don't need to be good at anything. It's just like, we need someone to make sure these kids don't, set the school on fire during this class.
I mean, I could at least see the argument for having someone with experience in baseball as a baseball coach. Yeah, what does history have to do with it?
I also don't think they need a substitute an assistant baseball coach.
Yeah.
A substitute assistant baseball coach.
I mean, most baseball teams have...
They have an assistant coach.
Yeah.
But if the guy's just going to be out for a little while...
Yeah.
And it's,
Hey, we're going to go 4 days without this coach. No!
Without your assistant coach.
Right.
Someone else is going to have to pick up the balls today.
Now, to be fair, I think they implied a couple of times that they are, co-coaches.
They said assistant coach.
Right, but I think he is... there was at least one line in it where I got the idea that he's also an assistant. There's, just basically two coaches.
Right. Which I don't see how any... I want to know the other coach in his situation, because this main guy does not seem like he would allow for somebody else to be a boss to his players.
Yeah.
He definitely doesn't act like a co-coach. He acts like a big boss.
Right. Maybe the other guy's a milquetoast fella, and he can't,
What's milquetoast?
Weak-willed and doesn't stand up to him.
Maybe.
It's possible. But anyway.
Where the fuck does milquetoast come from? I've never heard that before in my life.
Never?
No.
Oh, it's a word.
Is it like soggy toast?
I guess.
Ugh.
It's milque.
What?
Toast.
I'm looking this up.
Look it up. So Coach takes the player, Peter, into his office. And he makes Peter...
In his towel still. I thought that was weird.
Was he still in his towel?
Yeah, they were. All the guys were in the... again, another thing that made me super uncomfortable. This is attempt 2 at episodes, and we have another young person without a top on.
Yep.
with adults around.
Mm-hmm.
It's all the guys changing in the locker room, and he's like, I need to see you in my office. He's just holding a towel around his waist. Could he be like, can I put on some pants, coach?
Like, no, I like the sound of that towel rubbing against it.
I was like, oh my god, is this going to be like a pedophile thing? Or like, I'm like, how dark does this get?
Monica's here to cure Earl of his pedophilia.
Yeah, or just like, or a sexually abusive coach situation.
Yeah.
Man,
Fortunately, no.
Fortunately, I guess that was just for the lady viewers. Because the guy who plays this is a full-grown dude.
Right.
He's meant to be a high schooler, but he's definitely at least 20.
Right. Well, he's also a high schooler going to college, so he could
so
be
17,
18 as is. Yeah.
Right.
So.
Either way, very disturbing.
Right.
Also, if anybody knows the show Jack and Jill from the late 90s, early 2000s, he plays Jill in that with Amanda Peet being Jack.
Cool.
You can pretend to care.
I don't know what that is.
It's a fun fact to someone. Go on.
No. I'm keeping it. I just didn't know what to do.
Cool.
Peter is made the team captain, and Coach Earl also tells him that a scout will be at the next game, and so he has to play like his life depends on it. In the meantime, Tess takes on a job at the local sports bar that Peter's mom owns. We find out through them that Peter's dad died. It sounds like relatively young.
Yeah, I couldn't tell.
And things are pretty tough all around for everybody. She thinks that she's too easy on her son, and she's always second-guessing what he would do were he alive.
Yeah.
And she thinks that he has gained discipline from playing baseball and Earl's tough coaching style.
Right.
They're actually grateful for his style, even though it is abrasive.
Right. It's something. It's a father figure of sorts.
It's a father figure. This is why I think the dad died pretty young, because it seems that, like, Earl is supposed to be some father figure, and that's hard to do if your dad just died, like, a year ago.
Right. He can't...
Like, I don't need a father figure. My dad was alive until last year. I'm good.
still mourning.
Right. But if, like, he was 8.
Right. If he grew up with
else.
not really having a dad most of his life.
So that's why I think it happened a long time ago.
I'll go with that, too.
The entire team and Monica, who is part of the team at this point, wind up at that same sports bar, and Earl stands up to make an announcement. But he gets thrown off by Monica because he sees her holding her, like, glass of choice, and it is a...
bottle of hot sauce.
Right.
Sure.
And he's like, what are you doing? She's like, it's the best I can do on short notice. And this causes him great confusion because he looks at her, like, 3 times. He's like...
It's clearly, yeah.
It's clearly a thing that we're supposed to call attention to and he's familiar with.
Right.
And presumably she's doing on purpose.
Right.
Because she knows who he is, but he doesn't know who she is.
Right.
And then she does this, and he's like, what the hell?
Right. So it's clearly something she said to him before, and it's giving him, like, flashbacks of sorts.
Right.
Yeah, he's doing flashback face.
But we will figure out what it's about. But the announcement, ultimately, is that Peter is team captain. And he then points to Monica and tells her that you are supposed to drink with your toast.
Yeah.
Which is more or less him insisting that she drinks the hot sauce.
Yeah.
Which she does, because I'm pretty sure she doesn't feel pain because she's an angel.
Yeah, she could probably just turn that off.
Right, if she needs to. So she drinks hot sauce.
Because otherwise that would be a really rough poop experience for her first time.
Those are my 2 thoughts. Either she doesn't have to feel pain, or this is going to be a hard poop.
Yeah, this is going to be a rough lesson.
Also, we know Tess loves T-bone steaks.
We find out.
I never got the T-bone thing.
I don't either. I also don't really like steak.
I like steak, but I don't like bones in my food.
I don't either.
So why would I want
I don't like
T-bone?
my food mixed with garbage. Lollipops. Wings.
Boneless wings, though. Now we're talking.
Boneless wings are just chicken nuggets, and I'm all for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
That's always my favorite. Boneless wings or chicken bites.
Yeah.
Like, these are all chicken nuggets.
Right. I don't get, like, popsicles. I guess if you want your ice cream to go, you want your ice cream on the go. But that's what cones are for, and
That's
they're
what cones are for, and they're edible.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't like having to work around a piece of trash.
I could deal with, like, ice cream in a bowl.
Yeah, but that's not garbage.
Yeah, it's just a bowl.
So
Technically, it's a bowl.
Technically.
You can just use a bowl.
When you're a woman on the go like me, you don't have time for bowls. You need your popsicle and you need it now.
Put it in a waffle cone. Eat the whole thing. Shove it in your face.
Yeah. Eat it in the car and let it drip all over your hands.
Since we're talking about the 90s, that's my 90s ad.
What?
Put your ice cream in a cone. Shove it in your face.
Extreme. Extreme.
Okay. So we're back at baseball practice, and Earl is yelling at another player just as Monica arrives in a slightly sexy version of a baseball uniform.
Slow motion, approaching teenage boys in a very sultry way to where they're all whistling at her.
Yes.
And we have our first experience in this episode of her deep camel toe.
See, I didn't see it. I guess I gotta go see it again.
It's unfortunate.
Unfortunate for who?
Everyone involved.
Not the teenage
Camel
boys.
toes are not hot.
Yeah.
Do you think camel toes are hot?
No.
No.
But I don't know.
No. It's essentially like she's wearing like the kind of baggy 90s shorts.
You know what? This is a curious question.
Yeah.
I don't know if camel toes are supposed to be hot. You should ask. You should do a poll. I think you'll be shocked by the answer.
I think some people will find it attractive, some people don't. I think it'll be like...
I don't know if it's so much hot as it just draws obvious attention to your vagina.
Yeah.
Which in and of itself makes a dude think about your vagina.
Right.
Which then is like, vagina!
I can tell you moose knuckles are the hard pass for me.
Which is fair.
Yeah.
But that's because...
I don't care about guys' dicks.
Genitals are weird. And guys' genitals are weirder.
Yeah, I just don't care. If I'm attracted to somebody, it is not because I think something's happening in their nethers.
Yeah, so it's the thing.
Ugh. Moving on. She's being too sexy towards teenage boys.
Right. They're all focusing on her, and when the coach asks her what the hell she's wearing, she repeats her line, "It's the best I can do on short notice."
No, it's not. You're an angel. You can do whatever you want.
You do
not have to unbutton the button-up shirt and tie it around your waist.
We also find out that the coach has sentimental attachment to his bat that he carries around, and he doesn't let anyone else use it.
Right.
None of the players, just him. He calls Peter over, and he makes him decide the punishment of one of the other players. I guess the one he was yelling at. And Dink.
Yeah, that kid gets all of the brunt of his...
Right. I guess he calls him Stinky, too?
Yeah, I guess so.
I guess his name is Dink.
Dinky, Stinky.
Stinky Dink.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Poor guy.
Poor guy. I knew a guy named Dink.
Remember the TV show, Doug?
Of course.
I love that show.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the next door neighbors, the Dinks?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know why they're called that?
No.
Double income, no kids.
Oh.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Isn't that fun?
That's hilarious.
I hope that to be my future.
I know, that's my goal.
I want to be a Dink.
I am 100% going to be a Dink, or at least a Sink.
I'm so going to be a Sink. I'm going to put that on my vision board.
I was thinking vision board.
I couldn't think of what it was called. I'm going to put that on my vision board. I'm going to be a Sink.
So Dink is getting some punishment from the coach, and he calls Peter over, the team captain, and lets him decide the punishment that he's going to receive. And he pushes Peter to make it more severe, because it's like, you're both men. If he's a man, he can take it, and so can you. Yep. And blah, blah, blah.
Toxic masculinity.
I'm a man, and you're a man, and we're all men, and we're not supposed to feel things or pity or compassion for other people.
A man. He's a man. We're all men.
Hey! This causes some obvious resentment amongst everybody.
Right.
But Peter does acquiesce. He's not yet ready to push back.
To quote one of my favorite ladies, toxic masculinity ruins the party again.
Back at the bar, Monica and Tess talk about the situation amongst themselves before Earl shows up, and they discuss with him why he's so hard on the kids. He sees the question coming because he answers it before she even asks it.
Yeah.
He says that he's hard on them because it works, and it makes them strong. And as soon as they let their guard down, someone's going to swoop in and stab them to death or something.
I guess.
He uses an analogy like a war.
Well, yeah.
The enemy's going to come in and...
It's a classic, classic point of view for ex-military.
Right. Monica armchair psychologies him as having been sloppy in a war zone before and getting hurt from it, and asks him if he's really trying to save the kids from a similar fate or if he's trying to make them pay for his.
Damn.
Now it's
syrup being poured on his head.
Now, it doesn't fully count because she knows what happened to him in the past.
Yeah, but she definitely comes across as psychic for a split second.
Yeah. Or, I honestly, if I didn't know that she was in a position of knowledge,
right,
I thought less psychic, more armchair psychologist douchebag.
Okay.
Like, are you really, trying to, save the kids from pain, or are you just being an asshole? Right. It's like, oh, fuck you.
Are you saving them, or are you saving yourself?
Like, even if you're right,
right,
you don't know that you're just being a dick.
Right.
But she does know that it happened, so it's different.
And she also mentions, kind of specifics,
right,
being in a situation at war.
Right.
Which we learn is true.
Rather than answer Monica's question, Earl calls Peter over and tells him to assign Dink 5 more laps. Because he has to shape up or Pete's going to have to kick him off the team entirely.
Right.
We now cut to Monica teaching a proper class in school, which is apparently history class.
Yeah, proper class, but outside.
Because she's a cool teacher.
Yeah, she hates shoes and she likes the outside.
Oh, also, she was drinking hot sauce when she was talking to Tess before Earl showed up.
That's right, because she's taking a liking to it, I guess.
It's so weird. Oh, and my other favorite weird thing about Monica was when she said, "You catch more fleas with vinegar."
Yeah.
And then Tess goes, "Flies." She goes, "Flies." I have to say, Monica's a weirdo.
Yeah.
I kind of like it.
I know.
It's pretty cute. Parts of her are a little endearing because she's a little odd.
Yeah, no, I think she's meant to be, and she is.
So, Monica's giving examples of people who did and should have stood up for what they believed and fought against bullies. The Boston Tea Party, Rosa Parks. Those are the 2 that stood out to me, but there were others.
Yeah, those are the only ones I remember.
Yeah. You won't be surprised to learn that Peter is also in this class, and he takes the lesson to heart.
Mm-hmm.
So back at practice, Earl is yelling at everyone, and he calls out Dink, who is supposed to do his laps, and Peter reveals that he didn't make them do them at all.
Mm-hmm.
Earl doesn't take kindly to being defied, and he gets in his face and puts his hands on Peter, who tells him, "Don't put your hands on me."
Yeah, as one should.
Earl then says, "I'll do whatever I want," and he keeps poking him, so Peter punches him in his face.
Deservedly so.
Yep. Now, Coach takes the punch really well, because he's up immediately and he's fine.
Yeah.
And he kicks Peter off the team, and then as he's walking away in a huff, he collapses onto the field. So, I guess he wasn't fine after all. At the hospital, Peter is surprised and relieved to find out that the hit that he gave to the coach had nothing to do with why he's so fucked up right now.
Right. It's a condition that the nurse refuses to. Yeah.
Yeah, the doctor or nurse, whoever comes out, can't talk about it without family around. Because HIPAA. Good.
Good.
Except Monica's got the inside track because there's an angel there to collect Earl's soul.
Yeah, Adam.
Who tells her that he is dying of some pancreatic condition.
Right. So now we, the audience, also know.
Right.
Convenient.
Monica goes in to check on Earl. And she tells him that it's okay to be scared because he's in there trying to still be like his tough guy self.
Right.
They talk about the one time he was scared, and it was in the war. And he tells the terrible story of the time he let his guard down for just 1 second, and he got shot in the stomach, I guess, for it.
I don't know.
He got shot.
I assume.
Earl cried there in the mud as he was bleeding to death after being shot, but Monica showed up, and she patched him up. And that was when she said her line for the first time to him. "It's the best I could do on short notice." He recognizes her either now or he has before, but he calls her out for being an angel because he knows what she is. And he asks what he's supposed to do now. She saved him, but all he's done was become a never-was high school baseball coach.
Right.
With no real... He didn't go on to do anything or accomplish anything.
Right, he blames her for that.
And he blames her for that because he wasn't given guidance, I guess, on what he's supposed to do with his life.
Yeah.
That she literally saved in a divine act.
Right. Right. Which, and her response is, I think, great.
You want to go for it?
No, you tell him.
Okay.
I don't remember.
She tells him that he was supposed to take his life and share it. Open yourself up and send 100 boys to college and make kids feel better. But instead, you've only thought about what you've lost, and you've never let your guard down. And now you're going to die more alone than you ever were before.
Fucking harsh.
She goes in on this man, and then she leaves him to die on his own.
Yeah. Fucking A.
She's not wrong.
She's not wrong.
But damn.
I know. I was here for it.
Monica and Tess are then talking about how upset that she got at Earl. And Monica isn't sure what she's supposed to do. Mm-hmm. Monica points out how frightened Earl is that his life has been a waste. She could feel it when she was in the room with him. And Tess asks what he's leaving behind, and Monica's not really sure. Monica heads over to the bar and says that Earl wanted Peter back on the team, so she reinstates him. And as he leaves to go get some rest before the big game tomorrow, Monica reveals to Peter's mom that the coach is dying. He's not just sick right now, he's dying. She also does tell the mom that getting punched in the face had nothing to do with it.
Good, yeah, I'm glad they clarified.
Mom points out that being back on a team doesn't mean anything unless it really did come from Earl, and she goes to see him as a result of this conversation. She tells Earl that he's the closest thing that Peter's had to a dad, and his approval still matters. Because she says, like, did you really want him back on the team? He's like, it doesn't matter. He's on the team now.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. And she goes, no, your opinion actually matters to him.
Yeah.
You're his dad, basically.
Right.
If he dies before Peter has a chance to make amends with him, then winning the game won't matter to him at all. But Earl's last words to him will.
Yeah.
For the rest of his life.
Good advice.
Monica follows up this conversation and tells Earl that he can still be somebody if he does the right thing by Peter. Asking him if he's going to take that chance, Earl seems to be receptive to the idea.
And then dies.
he starts smiling a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
It is hilarious. I'm so glad we both laughed at that. I laughed so hard.
Now, Adam the angel, who was going to come take Earl's soul, I guess.
I'm assuming he's the angel of death.
Yeah.
Because he shows up and takes people's souls.
Right. Is it the same guy from last time?
Yeah.
Really?
It's the same. Yeah. Same guy, same actor, same everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Adam shows up and is about to take Earl away, but Monica tries to convince him to spare Earl so that he can have a second chance. And Adam disagrees that he even deserves one.
Yeah.
But Monica says, I don't remember.
I don't either. He says something about, like, he doesn't even deserve it. He's like, that's why he does. If something, I don't know, man.
That's why he needs it, maybe?
That's why he needs it. Maybe he doesn't deserve it, but he needs it or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
But the point is, Adam does give him an opportunity to not die.
Right.
He does point out that Earl will die tomorrow.
Right.
This is not negotiation.
This is a 24-hour thing.
It's a 24-hour
like a deal they
Not even
worked
24 hours. It's probably nighttime. He's probably
Right.
got like 16 hours best.
You're probably right.
Now, we're up to the big game with the scout and Peter as the team captain and everything. And Monica gives a pretty uninspiring speech about how they are totally going to kick butt, but in case they don't, you're all still terrific. And Dink is the one who points out, like, oh, well, I'm inspired.
Yeah.
Because it was not a good, like, rallying cry.
Now, the guy who plays Dink is actually a comedy writer and a comedian.
Is that Pete David? What's his face?
Are you about to say Pete Davidson?
Yeah.
He wasn't even born yet.
No?
No.
I don't know how old he is. He seems 40.
He's in his teens. He might be 20 now. Pete Davidson?
I don't know. I don't know how old he is.
He might be 21.
He could be any age.
No, he's just like some guy he had little minor parts in like 90s shows and stuff.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Peter is pretty sullen that Earl isn't around for the game, as he's never played a game without Earl there. And Monica reminds him that if he impresses the scout today, he's going to have to play 100 games without Earl around. Which is a decent point. It's true. But you got to get over it sometime.
Yeah.
Now, the game goes pretty poorly, and Monica even cheats a little bit.
Yeah,
remember at one point, Dink's trying to catch a ball, and he can't see because of the sun.
And
so
here comes another dove.
A dove flies in the way so he can see it.
What if the only way she could create doves is by removing pieces of clothing? That would change its entire story.
It might have been.
No, she makes like a little like hand symbol that looked like a flying symbol or something with her hands.
But they are now down 3-0. The bases are loaded, and with 2 outs. And Peter comes to take the plate. He's the batter at this point. Now, I'm reasonably certain most pitchers are not good batters. But I guess this is supposed to demonstrate just how good Peter is.
Yeah, typically no. Pitchers are known to be not the bad. They're the ones.
It's not their focus. It's not the point.
Right, correct.
Like, they have to bat because that's the rules.
Yeah.
But no one's like, oh boy, we got to rely on the pitcher for this one.
I mean, yeah,
Hopefully.
like definitely not like it's not common nowadays. Babe Ruth was a pitcher and a hitter.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Facts. I assumed he was shortstop because that's what all the...
He's too fat for shortstop. You kidding me? He played outfield sometimes.
Okay.
Or at some point.
After earning himself 2 strikes, which means that they have almost lost the game entirely, Earl comes in to make the most dramatic entrance possible, showing up now.
Yep.
At the very last possible moment.
Last pitch, it's like 2 outs, 2 strikes, last inning, they're down by 3.
Right. But he makes a dramatic entrance, and he confesses to earning being punched in the face by Peter. He switches out the bat that Peter is using for the one that he's got the sentimental attachment to, and Peter is vindicated. He then goes on to hit an in-the-park home run, allowing everybody to run the bases.
Right.
But because it's in the park, they have a chance to
get him out.
Stop him.
Right, so...
I'm explaining this not for you, but for the audience.
Yeah,
who
no,
may
I
not
was...
know.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I know what you're doing.
And then there's a final dramatic moment where Peter, since he was the one who hit the ball, is coming back to home plate. And if he hits this, they've scored 4 runs, and they are going to win this game, almost certainly. This might even be bottom of the 9th, so it's a guarantee. We see the catcher trying to tag Peter before he gets to home plate, and the umpire does say safe, but I'm reasonably certain he was out.
He had his hand extended like he should, but then he pulled his hand back and kind of used his head or like his chest to hit the plate.
I am 85% sure that the catcher got him.
I agree. I think that could be true. Yeah.
So it was funny for me because I'm watching this and I know what they're going to do.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, no, he got him. He's out. They're still tied. This extra innings. Go for it.
Just keep your arm extended.
Just keep your arm.
That's the whole point of sliding.
But it was just a funny moment where I'm sure they didn't want to refilm it.
Maybe.
Or even know that they got it wrong.
Right.
But he was out.
Right.
I'm very sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, I'm not going to say like 100%.
Yeah.
But
I'm with you. I thought the same thing. I'm like, I'm not even positive that.
I'm very heavily on the side of he was definitely out. But that's fine. The point is, he scored 4 things, and it's great at the last possible moment. And if they did count him out, it would ruin the satisfactory emotional conclusion of the story here, where he succeeds because Earl showed up at the last second. Now, the scout shows up onto the field because I guess the game is over. Everyone's just quitting and going home, even though technically it's not over.
No, it's over because it has to be the bottom because they're home. They're the home team.
Oh, is that how that works?
Yeah, the guest goes first, which means the home team goes last.
You got it. Yeah. So I guess once you're up, it doesn't matter if you.
Well, because there's no reason to keep scoring once there's no way for them.
You want to see if we can get to 7? Who cares?
Yeah, exactly. Like if they had tied it on that one, then it would have gone to extra innings potentially. But
okay, gotcha. Yeah. So everyone's done. The scout comes and recruits Peter and tells him that he'll see him in the fall. And Peter tells Earl that every game he's played, he's going to hear him in his head, just like he did today. Because he almost stopped running, but he heard something tell him, go for it.
I like the idea that he almost stopped running. Why? There's nothing to lose.
There's literally nothing to lose. 3 people made it across. If you get out, you just go to extra.
Right, exactly.
Go for it.
Yeah.
But they hug it out because they are finally hitting this sort of climax in their relationship. I don't like my phrasing there.
No.
But
I can watch you in your eyes. I immediately regret this.
It's true. But Peter thanks Earl for letting him borrow his bat. And Earl tells him to hold on to it for a while. I'll ask for it later. I'll get it back from you later.
Yeah. We all know that's not going to happen.
Right. He then walks away quietly, and he settles on the bleachers next to Adam, who's going to take his soul.
Yeah, they're just striking up a conversation, hanging out.
He admits that he's biding some time. He's trying to, roll it out, but he tells Monica that he was scared of dying until last night, and he thanks her for giving him the chance to finally live. He doesn't say it that way. He just thanks her, and she says, well, you finally lived, or something like that.
You lived more in the last 24 hours than you did your whole life, or something like that.
And, of course, it begins to rain as he walks away with the angels, Monica holding his hand, and dies. Although I'm curious what happens to his body. Are they going to find him in the baseball field?
Was he going to be a corpse discovered by children later?
Right.
Because that is a children's baseball field.
Or is he going to die in the bleachers? He's dying in that baseball field.
He walks off. So he's it's a very Angels in the Outfield moment, except for there's no cornfield on the edge for them to walk into. They're just walking towards a fence. Where are they going?
Yeah. I mean,
if he just disappears,
I assume it's...
Is that an option? Can Angels just make it disappear?
I assume at some point we're watching him as a dead person walk away. He is a soul now.
Where's his
But
corpse?
his body is somewhere in that
right
area. I like to think he died on the bleachers.
And his soul walked off.
So now, someone's going to see him just, watching this game.
No, someone's going to be traumatized, and I want to see the sequel to that episode.
Weekend at Bernie's
Part
with
2.
fucking Coach Earl.
Oh my god. Traumatic.
Alright, so final thoughts on this one.
I loved this one.
I really liked it.
Yeah, also, I don't know what it was with the 90s and baseball, but baseball was big in the 90s. All those kids' movies that came out, everything was baseball. Yeah. It might be why I love the sport today. I have no idea.
So, my final thought, really, besides just a general like for this episode, it was a major improvement, I think, on the pilot. I liked it. It wasn't trite or annoying in the way that the first one was for me. It wasn't overly long.
It was well written.
Yeah. I think it paced itself really well. So I was pretty satisfied with it, except one thing.
What?
I'm pretty sure this is not how scouting works, and if it is, it shouldn't be.
No, it's not how scouting works. He would get an offer from this guy. It would be see you in September.
I don't just mean that, although yes. I mean more, he's there to look at Peter and the opposing team's pitcher as well.
Right.
We learned this.
Right.
Peter played like shit the whole game.
He really did.
But then he pulled it off at the last minute, and now
he gets one home run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, the other guy played good the whole game.
Potentially. Yeah, he did.
Like, when you scout...
He kept them at 0 until the last inning.
When you scout players, there has to be some understanding that sometimes they lose, even if it's not their fault. It's a team game.
Right.
Unless you're literally scouting boxers or fighters or some other literally solo sport.
Right. Where it's likely that the opponent is dead now. So you only take the one that survived.
Right. But, like, if I'm a scout,
yeah,
and I'm looking at two players, and one has played consistently well the entire game, one has played like shit and then had a final burst of skill,
right,
I think I'm going to lean towards the one who is consistent, even if he lost.
I don't disagree.
He lost by 1 point, by the way. He didn't, like...
I know. I thought the exact same thing. Not only that, but just walking up, hey, you got it. No paperwork. Yeah. There's paperwork that you signed.
Also, they're not supposed to know you're there.
Well, one scout noticing you and making an offer means likely other scouts will also want to get a piece of you and see you play and potentially make better offers. Right. So there's, just across the board, not how scouting works.
But you also just can't, like, because they're not supposed to know you're there.
Right.
If players know you're there...
No, players know when they're there.
They might, but I don't think they're supposed to. And I think the reasoning is really simple. Maybe someone who's not being scouted is super jealous and they tank your whole team. It could happen. That's just why you keep it in, like, just stay quiet. It always gets out. I know. And that's always, like, you generally know if there might be a scout there.
Right.
Or at least you know if there might be.
Right.
But you don't just like, hey, I'm going to be here today watching you to make sure you play good.
I'm here with my giant clipboard.
It's like restaurant reviews.
Right.
Like, you don't say, hey, I'm here to review your
Secret
restaurant.
Shoppers
make sure you treat me well.
Although you can always tell them to. They always have a clipboard they're trying to hide.
Right. There are tells.
They order one of each like type of thing. Right. And
there are obvious tells, but they are not supposed to just know going in.
They definitely are not wearing a sticker on their chest that says, hello, I am a secret shopper.
Exactly. That's all. That was just my thing. I was looking at scouting. I was like, this is stupid. The stupidest way to do scouting I've ever seen.
You're not wrong.
All right. So, did you have anything else?
I don't think so.
All right.
The second one is significantly better than the first.
Yes.
And I feel like if we continued watching it, for at least for a while, they would continue to get better.
Probably.
Until,
I wouldn't be, like, if someone turned this on, I'm not leaving the room.
Yeah.
Which I would not have expected going in.
Me neither.
I would have expected the show's going to be fucking
cheesy. It is cheesy, but it's not heavy-handed.
Right.
In a way that I thought it was going to be.
Right.
I didn't mind the religious overtones at all. Like, it seemed like really good character development, too, and, like, a real life kind of human interactions and situations.
Like Christine was like, where the fuck were you when my baby died?
Yeah, great.
I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, they deal with real things, it seems, yeah.
And Earl even had a point, even though he was wrong, and it's clear he was. Christine was right.
Yeah, totally.
So,
and even though if you're getting like oversimplified answers, it's like it's still that's what faith is. It's just like having the belief to comfort yourself.
Right.
You could still be angry. You could still question things.
Right. Like she may as well like cause a fireball like a magician out of her hands. That's why. It's just as good. It's the best you can do in these sorts
Watch
of things.
Watch this. Takes off her shirt. Dove.
Because nothing has real answers, so you have to just be like, poof, fireball. My shirts are doves.
I am naked and surrounded by doves. Do you believe me now?
Right, so it's just these little things they have to do. But they still at least do it in a way that's condescending.
Right.
Or insulting.
Yeah, absolutely. This was a nice little breath of air after the God's Not Dead situation.
Right.
Which is the opposite of this. Yeah.
Exactly. All right. Now we're going to talk about what we're going to do next week.
Okay.
You have likely never seen or heard of this.
Okay.
Here you go. What's it called, Hillary?
Next week we're doing something called Faith Like Potatoes, which I think you just made up to fuck with me.
Nope, it's a real movie. I have it in my bedroom.
Faith Like Potatoes.
Faith Like Potatoes.
Is this like the poor man's VeggieTales?
No.
Oh, bummer.
So, sadly, we don't yet have access to God's Not Dead 3 because it hasn't been released yet. But we're definitely going to do it as soon as it's available to us.
Right. Are you going to buy it?
Probably. Or at least rent it.
Okay.
But we do have a movie, and it's called Faith Like Potatoes. And it is a movie about a South African man
Okay.
whose faith guides him through. I'm not sure exactly. I haven't seen it
Did
yet.
South Africa have a potato famine that I wasn't aware of?
I'm not certain. We're going to find out.
All right, I'm intrigued.
But I do know what the top 3 rated most helpful IMDb reviews have to say about things.
Hit me.
Exhibit A. If we can all master Angus Buchan's faith and attitude, we will at last see God's peace in South Africa. That was a 10-star review, I'm pretty sure. 10 out of 10. The second one. They were all positive, by the way.
South Africa is suffering.
I was so interested in learning more about this amazing man and the makers of the movie that I watched every minute of the extras.
Damn.
So, that's a thing. This movie might be good.
It might be good. I hope it is. I always hope it is.
The third example. Remember the movie Chariots of Fire?
Yes.
Well, Faith Like Potatoes is about 10 times more evangelistic, 100 times more heart-wrenching, and every bit as inspiring.
Gorgeous. I hope it has a similar soundtrack, because that's the best part of Chariots of Fire.
Actually, Hillary, stay here for 1 second. I want to show you something.
Even if I wanted to move, I couldn't.
This is my DVD
Okay.
of Faith Like Potatoes.
You... Wait, did you have to order this?
No, I found it at a Goodwill.
Did you actually find it at a Goodwill, not know what it is, and buy it specifically for this podcast?
Yes.
I love you. That's amazing.
Tell me what that man is doing on the front cover of that DVD.
It is a white man holding 2 potatoes with his arms raised towards the sky while rain pours down on him. Potatoes!
When I saw that movie, and I saw it was called Faith Like Potatoes, I had no choice.
Did you know that it was based on an inspiring true story?
I read the back just in case.
Oh my good God.
But yes, I did know that part. But as soon as I saw that man with those potatoes and realized it was a...
I wouldn't even notice the potatoes until you told me to pay attention.
I saw it right away. I was like, this man is holding potatoes.
It just looks like he's screaming potatoes.
Potato! So we're going to see if this is any good, because holy shit.
I'm looking forward to this. That's a rarity.
And as always...
Wait, did you read the last sentence of this?
No, go ahead.
A moving life journey of a man who, like his potatoes, grows his faith unseen until the harvest. Oh, I needed that laugh.
Alright, fun times. And remember, if you like the show, please give us some of those 5-star reviews in whatever podcast app or service you are using, and tell your friends about us any way you can, because we need you. Links to everything are in the description of this episode, and please go to the website and send us a comment or a question so we can do our mailbag segment.
Yes.
And as always, thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.